On a sunny morning, the magnificent gates of the immense palace in Riyadh awaken, owned by none other than Mohamed Bin Salman, the world's sole trillionaire. His wealth surpasses the combined fortunes of notable figures such as Elon Musk, Mark Zuckerberg, Bill Gates, and Jeff Bezos, which together amount to around $420 billion. However, this figure doesn't even come close to the grandeur of Mohammed bin's wealth. Mohamed Bin Salman, also known as MBS, is the crown prince of Saudi Arabia. His lineage traces back to an extremely affluent family, with the Saudi royal family holding the precious oil reserves of the country, making them the richest family in history. Through the colossal oil company Saudi Aramco, valued at over $2 trillion, they flaunt their wealth. Given the royal family's near-total ownership of the company's shares, this ruling dynasty is indeed the wealthiest on the planet. At 37 years old, Mohammed bin leads this lineage and thus wields supreme control over this vast fortune. To give a brief idea of what could be purchased with $1 trillion, if MBS were so inclined, he could acquire nothing less than 1 million Lamborghini Aventadors. He could buy all the existing cruise ships in the world and still have over $500 billion left. Alternatively, he could purchase all the available private islands worldwide. His education and journey have paved the way for his spectacular present life. After graduating from Saudi Arabia's top university, he deepened his knowledge in Islamic law. Initially stepping into the world of real estate investments and business advisory, this preparation led him to a pivotal role at the age of 29 when his father appointed him as Minister of Defense and subsequently as Prime Minister. As chairman of the board of Saudi Aramco, he not only controls the country's economic pillar but also stands as the preeminent political figure of the nation. But before delving into his daily routine, it's essential to note the magnitude of his residence, a grand palace radiating opulence from every corner. This majestic complex houses imposing indoor pools, countless rooms, and an architecture that echoes the extravagance of his wealth. Yet, in the serenity of one of the rooms, around 7 in the morning, Mohammed bin starts his day, accompanied by his wife. The public moment MBS shares with his wife, who is also the mother of their 4 children, is a rare and special act. Beyond the role of a spouse, she is also his cousin. After waking up the children, they head to breakfast. However, this event unfolds in a manner far from the traditional imagination. Instead of preparing the food themselves, MBS and his family consume elaborate meals prepared by their private chefs. Except on formal occasions, all their meals are exclusively prepared by this team of culinary experts. This practice extends even when he's traveling, as he's always accompanied by a select group of top-tier chefs, ensuring that all culinary desires are met. The stringency goes to the extent that the food is tasted by a taster, an hour before the prince eats, to prevent any poisoning risks. However, breakfast is not the tranquil start of his day. MBS's work routine begins early, involving the consumption of news and constant navigation through social media. He spends several hours each day on platforms like Twitter, Instagram, and Facebook to stay updated on global events. As the leader of Saudi Arabia, holding positions as Prime Minister and Minister of Defense, this connection with the world is crucial, especially when he's not at the ministerial office. Instead, his activities often take him on international travels as a head of state. When traveling, MBS is accompanied by a delegation of around 20 individuals, including chiefs, assistants, and advisors. His journeys take place aboard his own Boeing 747, one of the largest aircraft in the world, designed to accommodate up to 400 passengers. Internally, the plane is a reflection of his refined taste, with customized rooms, spaces for elaborate dining, massage chairs, and even an anti-missile defense system. However, luxury isn't just indulgence for MBS. His travels often precede high-level commitments as a head of state, where he meets influential figures like Vladimir Putin and forges important ties with the United States. His personality is frequently construed as that of a ruthless businessperson, dedicated to promoting his country's interests at any cost. His current focus is to drive Saudi Arabia's technological advancement, reducing its dependence on oil. He is also a technology enthusiast and envisions massive ventures to build the next technological hub in his country. In line with his visions, he is constructing an enormous city called Neom, which is only 200 meters wide but stretches an impressive 170 kilometers. This city is part of his visionary plan to transform how people live and interact, aligning with his ambition to create the next Silicon Valley in Saudi Arabia. However, when MBS is not immersed in official travels but rather enjoying leisure moments, he is often spotted in France, specifically in Paris. In 2015, he acquired a property believed to be the most expensive residence in the world. Styled reminiscent of Louis XIV's era, the palace is more than just a residence. It houses a private nightlife, an exclusive golf course, and a fountain adorned with gold statues. This palace also features historical mural paintings, indoor hydromassage pools reminiscent of Roman baths, and a customized wine cellar. The extravagances of his vacations don't stop there. MBS owns his own island in the Maldives, exclusively used for parties of utterly exaggerated proportions. The island has witnessed gatherings with over 150 supermodels, where limitless fun is the order of the day. Renowned singers like Sia and Pitbull have been invited to perform on these occasions. Despite his religious upbringing, media reports suggest that while abroad, MBS adopts a more flexible lifestyle in relation to Islamic precepts, allowing actions that wouldn't be tolerated in Saudi Arabia. In his home country, when MBS is not on international trips, he often spends his midday in one of the many royal palaces scattered throughout the country. These residences are even more spectacular, making his house in Paris seem modest in comparison. These palaces are true displays of grandeur, adorned with pure gold, noble mosaics, and rooms that resemble temples from a bygone era. Extravagant automobiles are one of MBS's most costly passions. Despite being able to acquire the most valuable and exclusive luxury cars in the world, he takes extravagance to another level. His Lamborghini Aventador and Rolls-Royce have been coated in gold, paying over $7.5 million for each customization. Highlights include a gold-plated Bugatti Veyron and a Mercedes completely studded with diamonds. In addition to these feats, his yacht, estimated at $500 million, with a length of 440 meters, redefines the very idea of luxury. It features a convertible helipad that can be turned into a dance floor or pool, an indoor snow room, a spa, a kids' sea with a climbing wall, and a gaming center. Despite all these indulgences, MBS still dedicates most of his days to politics. He is known for promoting initiatives that personally satisfy him. In Saudi Arabia, he enabled innovative concepts such as electronic music events, the reopening of cinemas, and the hosting of international sports competitions like World Boxing Championships and athletics tournaments. However, it's important to note that despite these progressive visions, Saudi Arabia remains a strict religious monarchy, where gender inequalities and persecution of homosexuality persist. Furthermore, the country lacks a proper legal code, with judges relying solely on Islamic Sharia law in criminal cases. Mohammed bin, on the other hand, shows no intention of reforming this situation. On the contrary, he's even accused of being involved in ordering the assassination of a critical journalist. Alongside his roles as Prime Minister, MBS surprisingly finds time to indulge in one of his favorite pastimes, sports. To stay active, he claims to engage in a variety of sports but abstains from his favorite, football. While he is a sports enthusiast and aims to foster its culture in his country, he acknowledges the heightened risk of injuries. Hence, he opts to frequent gyms and play basketball during his leisure moments. According to his own statements, ordinary nights in MBS's life are notably simple. For the most part, he spends them in one of his palaces, focusing on his areas of interest. Reports suggest he enjoys reading history books, indulges in board games, and watches Marvel movies and Japanese anime. Furthermore, he's a great art enthusiast, dedicating a significant portion of his leisure time to researching new acquisitions for his collection. A notable example was his acquisition of a Leonardo da Vinci painting valued at $400 million. As the day comes to a close, when the time for rest arrives, he settles into one of his grand beds, ready to face yet another day in the life of the world's only trillionaire. And thus, we conclude our video for today. Share with us in the comments what you would do with such immense wealth, and don't forget to subscribe to the channel to not miss our upcoming videos. Until next time.